Joy and I got into a conversation the other day about the downside to technology. And it worries me a lot. I think I benefit a lot from technology, but I think it's made us as a country impatient, and there's no going back. We are a more impatient country because of tech. I got my phone. People don't read articles. They just read headlines. You scroll through TikTok every morning. You scroll through Instagram. I need to constantly, as we're caffeinated, very frenetic, give me information, give me images. The other thing that makes people impatient is money. Hey, I got money. I got DoorDash. Food comes to me. I can pay for somebody to do my dry cleaning, wash my car. And football in America is big money. And people talk about Nick Saban retiring because he's getting near 70 and Bill Belichick retiring. But what is actually happening for Saban and Belichick is the game is getting easier for them, and here's why. Because college football now, there's so much money in it that if you're not good after 9 games like Sark in Texas, we're like, well, let's just fire him. Because donors now are not millionaires. Donors now have billions. And so they just write a $25, $35, $45 million check. Let's get rid of Sark. He's no good. You don't even give people a year? I mean, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe. We didn't think about firing him. Wealth creates impatience. I saw a story yesterday. Bill Belichick now makes $18 million a year. He's the highest paid coach in America, makes twice of what the best NBA coach makes, Steve Kerr, makes almost twice as Saban. And he's worth every penny, by the way. But it's also getting easier for Belichick. So when people talk about Belichick retiring, Brady's going to retire. We always talk about quarterbacks can play forever. Why can't Belichick coach for another decade? I want you to think of this for a second. Tonight, the Patriots, with a rookie quarterback, go on the road to Atlanta, facing a former MVP quarterback, Matt Ryan, who's still pretty darn good. And the Patriots are a touchdown favorite. Why? Is it personnel? Is it Mac Jones? No, Matt Ryan today is a better quarterback than Mac Jones. Mac Jones, we know that, right? It's Belichick on a short week against a rookie head coach on a short week. And the market in Vegas says that's about a touchdown. That's a coaching mismatch. Think about this. A loaded Dallas Cowboys team at home with an MVP-level quarterback, Dak Prescott. He's in the MVP race, right? With great weapons. Was only an 8-point favorite at home against Atlanta. Atlanta goes home, desperate team, veteran quarterback. They're now a 7-point dog to New England with a rookie quarterback. What the hell's going on? The betting markets are telling you. After 5 or 6 top quarterbacks, Belichick moves the line more than any other human in the league. That is unprecedented. That has never happened. They always say that about the John Madden, the former Fox broadcaster, is that Madden was the only person in the history of football analysts that moved the needle. A Madden game got a bigger rating. A Madden blowout, you'd stick around for Madden. That's how big John Madden was. That's not an opinion. That's like the data, the metrics all showed people would watch a game because it was a Madden game. I always felt that as a kid growing up with Keith Jackson doing college football. Oh, it was a Keith Jackson game. I'm going to watch. And I felt that with Madden. Think about this. It's getting easier for Belichick. Currently, there's 11 NFL head coaches because of all this money and impatience in football. Nick Saban is now often facing a first-year head coach, a coordinator who's been given a head coaching job who's really a coordinator. It's getting easier for Saban. Saban's got his worst team in 13 years. They're number 2 in the country. It's his worst team, a freshman quarterback. Belichick's got a rookie quarterback. He's a touchdown favorite against Atlanta on a short week with a rookie quarterback? Think about this. There's currently 11 NFL head coaches. 11, over a third of the league that are in their first or second year. Belichick is playing chess to checkers. Who's Belichick lost to this year? And, Sean Payton, Bruce Arians, Mike McCarthy. Here's Belichick's wins this year. Robert Saleh, blowout twice. Brandon Staley, Matt Rule, Kevin Stefanski blowout, David Culley. Belichick has so much institutional knowledge, so many experiences, that he now moves the needle. Isn't that incredible? To me, it's just like, wow. Wow. All right, I want to talk about a word that we don't use a ton. Now, we all know it's important. I mean, nobody is going to say this word's not important, but I do think it's underrated. And I told you years ago, Joey, I thought curious was underrated. I've never met a curious person that was not either happy or successful. Curious, want more information, you just want to travel, you want to see the world. Curious people are happier. Curious people tend to be more successful. They're always looking for information and experiences. Another word that is really underrated, we know it has value, is trust. This is a prime example. Joy doesn't even know this. Is when I told bosses I want to get Joy Taylor on the show. The reason was trust. Well, she's talented. Well, yeah, she's talented. But we both know there's a lot of talented people. I said, I trust Joy. Joy will come on the show. If I say something stupid, she's quick, she's verbal, she's got the ability to talk. She's done radio for years and years, so I can put her without a script. Joy could talk her way through a battleship. She could talk for all day. She talks in the makeup room in the morning. She talks getting coffee. Joy can talk. She probably talks to herself. And I said, I trust Joy. Joy can talk. Joy can talk all day long. There you go. You didn't know that. So trust is underrated. Not that the talent's not great, but do you trust your best friends? Do you trust your wife on the road in Vegas with her girlfriends after 2 glasses of wine? Do you trust? Trust is a big thing. Jay Glazer was on Pat McAfee's is it podcast or his YouTube show yesterday, and he says he doesn't think the Browns are 100% committed to Baker Mayfield. And I want to talk in facts here because y'all think I hate Baker. It's not a talent issue. It's a trust issue. Baker Mayfield's pass attempts per game, as the league is now a quarterback league and a passing league. There's no teams now that run more than throw. It doesn't happen. Rams are like 65 pass, 35 run. As the leagues become more quarterback-centric and more pass-happy, Baker's averaged fewer pass attempts every year of his career. He throws now less per game than Tua, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold. We know Carolina coaches don't trust Sam. We know Miami coaches are reluctant with Tua. So your parents will show you as a kid how much they trust you by the responsibility they grant you. They don't want Baker throwing the ball. I don't even know if they trust him at the microphone. Like he gets a little snarky. Baker's issue is a trust issue. It's not a talent issue. When Cleveland last week, I thought this was big. When they rushed to sign not one, but 2 offensive linemen early, it told you what the GM and the coach, because they're tight, right? Andrew, Barry, Stefanski come in around same time. It told you who they trusted. We trust our offensive linemen. We can build around our offensive linemen. We can pay our offensive linemen a lot. We trust they'll keep us in games, keep us competitive. Buffalo did that to Josh Allen 40 games into his career. That's what the Chargers will do early to Justin Herbert. That's what the Chiefs did early to Patrick Mahomes. We trust Patrick. He may have slumps. He'll get out of it. So I don't know where they're at on Baker. I think it's a 50-50 split here. If he wins the rest of the way, then they're probably going to go with it. But I do think you have to consider things like, oh my gosh, the AFC is now loaded with good young quarterbacks. And as I name these quarterbacks, what's the word you think of? Mac Jones. You trust him not to make big mistakes. Patrick Mahomes. You trust he'll keep you in games. Justin Herbert, trust. Lamar Jackson. By the way, these guys have different games, different sizes. Josh Allen. Trevor Lawrence. You trust his talent will overcome some of their deficiencies. We always talk about talent. Trust is underrated. Baker throws a really good ball. Baker's got a quick release. He's not ideal size, but he's reckless. He can be snarky. He's always got to win the press conference, calls out the medical staff. They're not sold on him. His talent is absolutely better than Tua. His talent is, I think, as good or better than Daniel Jones. Trust in Cleveland with Baker is not great because the coaches and parents will do this. They'll show you how much they trust you by the responsibility they grant you every year. Fewer pass attempts, fewer pass attempts, fewer pass attempts, as the league often has their best quarterbacks getting more pass attempts, more pass attempts, more pass attempts. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.